Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. If you are new to the page, in 1990 I became involved in the drug gang world. From 92 to '06, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. I tell these stories to let you know it don't have to be you. If you're young and thinking about trying something or you're figuring out how to get out, these are my stories of this lifestyle and how it affected me, and eventually I got out and transformed my life. So let's get into today's story. Okay, guys, so as you can see by the thumbnail, this is Why Don't I Speak on the Big Four. These are the big four prison organizations in the California Department of Corrections, and I'm going to get into it a little bit. Now, in California, there are approximately 200,000 people incarcerated, whether it be in state prison, county jails, or camps, whatever it may be. Now, all of these inmates are basically, well, I'm speaking on the general population side. They're all run by four organizations with approximately, I would say, 600 to 700 members. Think about that for a minute. 200,000 inmates being run by about 700 guys. So, these groups are very powerful. But before I get into that, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and share this video. It helps us to grow. We've been growing really well lately, and I want to thank you all for that. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so when I drop something new, you will be informed and you can check it out when you're ready. So, we have these four groups. One is the Southern Factions leadership. One is the Northern Factions leadership. One is the Whites leadership. And one is the Blacks leadership. Now, I couldn't find a whole lot on the Blacks and their group, but I'm going to be posting a bunch of news articles and basically stuff telling you, about these groups. Like the Southern Factions leadership, it is been stated there's only 140 members, and then they probably have a couple thousand soldiers under them, and then you have the rank and file. Same with the Northern Faction, and the same with the AB as well. Now on the Black Faction, like I said, I can't find much on those guys, so I don't know. If you know, drop a comment, if you're willing to speak about it. These organizations, they have very far, their reach is very far. And one thing I will say about them is, a lot of these guys were calling hits and making major deals from cells in Pelican Bay, which is, like 10 miles from the Oregon border, like way out in the middle of nowhere. And these guys were being watched like hawks, and yet they were still able to communicate and, make things happen, basically. So, smart individuals, very smart individuals, and very educated. The thing is, like, you could be a hitter in there, but if your brain ain't right, then you're not going to make it into one of these groups. Very few people do, and a lot of people will put in work and put in work and put in work, and they're never going to make it. It's a very select few. These are the Fortune 500 type folks of the criminal world. Now, a couple of things I want to touch on this one. There was an individual named Steven Seagal. A lot of you may know him better by his YouTube name, which was Savage Studios. And he was an entertaining guy. Like, his channel blew up over 100,000 subs. And he was a known 2-5er, which is an SNY gang. And he was very charismatic, had some good stories. Like, I subscribed to his page, like I was following him. Like, he was really enlightening me on some stuff that, I had never thought about when it come to that, the other side, the SNY. Well, good old Savage got drunk on a live and said some very disrespectful things to about one of the big organizations. Now, whether this is connected or not, I don't know. Because the thing about Savage is he liked to get drunk and he liked to beef with people in the comments. Uh, he was a very aggressive type. And he ended up getting gunned down in Yucca Valley outside of a tattoo parlor that I think he was working at. So, I mean, was that connected to the group that he disrespected? I don't know. But, you know, the thing is, like, you need to be very respectful of what these guys got going on because they're a lot smarter than most of us are. And you might say, well, a lot of these guys are doing life in prison. Well, I mean, it is what it is. There's some very intelligent people that are doing a lot of time in prison. So just because, you got busted for something, don't take away the intelligence level. And a lot of these guys are really smart. So now, there was a couple of instances where I was. There's a video I did on LA County Jail riot, and there was a guy in there that claimed to be somebody. Like, he wasn't claiming to be part of the controlling body for the Woods, I guess you would say, but he was in one of the underling, the next level down. He was one of the soldiers for them, and he was a part of another group. You can go check out that video, LA County Jail riot. It's a two-parter, but yeah, it's a good story. And this guy, like, these guys, I heard that he went on to become somebody. I don't know how true that is, but these guys have like a certain arrogance, a certain confidence about them. And, the guys that are in these groups, like, they could go to any yard anywhere and take over. Like, it's just that it's what these guys do, and, as you can see from some of the articles I've been putting up, like, they're no strangers to violence. They have no issues with that whatsoever. So, um, and the thing is, there was somebody on the street that I knew of, and he was working for somebody in one of these big organizations, and like the confidence level, the arrogance, and he wasn't even made. He was just working for somebody that was made, but the power of saying I'm working for so and so of this group carried so much weight. Like, the craziest gangsters I know would all, I don't want to say bow down, but nobody's bigger than the organization. And it don't matter how tough you think you are. Once you get locked up, if there's a green light put on you, you're done. You can't go against the machine, basically. So this is why I don't speak on these groups. If there's a news article or something that I can post, it's someone else's words, not mine. But much respect to these groups who will remain unnamed, except for in the articles I've been posting. So, you guys can see for yourself. But I guess the message of this one is, if you don't go to prison, you won't have to worry about any of this stuff. Prison is a crazy place. And the thing is, when I was doing time, all these leaders of these organizations were in the secure housing unit. So it was very rare that one of them would be on a yard. Sometimes maybe if somebody just got made, they might be on the yard until, the prison investigators figured it out and validated them and sent them away. But, for the most part, like, these guys were legends, like, everybody talked about him, but nobody had ever seen him, or at least I never did in prison, you know? So, it's just all about making good decisions and compounding the good decisions and not letting bad decisions ruin your day or your week or the rest of your life. Because, that's where bad decisions can take somebody like me. So, you know, I hope that you guys enjoyed this story, and I hope that I answered that question, uh, and it all makes sense. Like I said, if you have questions, drop them in the comments. And if you like this video, smash the like button. Uh, Share it if you know somebody that may enjoy this sort of content. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. And let's continue to grow. Like we're heading for 1,000 subs. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.